Hey guys, how are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault at Sports Talk Matt on Twitter to follow me at BettingPros for BettingPros. We are always here thanks to BetMGM. All the bets at BetMGM yesterday didn't cash, so I apologize for that, but I guess the book might be happy with that if you trailed because, well, we lost. I lost. Not great with that with an 0-3 day. More on that in 1 second, but if you did bet a $10 bet, you won $150 if you had a new account with the promo code JUICE150. So one way of making money, whether I win or lose, is that promo offer from BetMGM with a new account, not valid in Nevada, but every other state that is operating BetMGM. JUICE150 at sign up, $10 bet, you win $150. All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to come at you and, not act like I'm pissed off, because I'm pissed off. For a variety of reasons, I'm pissed off. And well, win, lose is frustrating. Starting off really bad to start the week after being really hot and then sort of going 500 the rest of the way. Again, not good. Took a flyer on Justin Thomas. He shot 4 over par. I thought he might go 2 under par. He shot 67. Thought he might be good for a 68. He'd played really well in the bad weather. He didn't play well. Nobody played well. I mean, Tiger may not be playing here, and I thought about fading Tiger on Sunday, so maybe I'll add something if Tiger does wind up playing, but the books are going to be all over it. So really, Saturday was the time to fade Tiger. But so that was a flyer plus 140 bet. I threw kind of a Hail Mary up on that. But the reason why I'm mad, look, Boston losing, I mean, that was crazy, right? I mean, 19 steals for Miami. Boston was so sloppy. Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart coming back, Tatum getting hurt, Smart getting hurt, coming back. But Brown and Tatum, Brown was great offensively, but so many bad turnovers. Really, I mean, Boston didn't deserve to win that game. I mean, it was a miracle they were even in the game in the fourth quarter. Would have been a complete steal. If Boston had won game 3, I think that series would have been over. Now it's very much a series. We're going to hammer Boston in game 4, flat out. It probably is a 1-unit bet, Boston game 4. Okay, probably money line, 1-unit, Boston game 4. Let's wait and see what Marcus Smart's status is before we do that. He's a huge key. Jimmy Butler playing or not doesn't really matter to me, but Boston will win game 4. It'll be 2-2, and we'll go, and probably the winner of game 5 wins the series. It's probably what's going to happen, but long way to go in the series. It's 2-1, back and forth, seesaw battle. The zigzag theory is going to hold here, I think, in game number 4, but a frustrating game for me because watching Boston, I just wanted to win. I didn't care if they covered or not. I wanted Boston to win. They didn't win. But the real reason why I'm mad is because Holly Holm got robbed. I mean, there is absolutely on no planet did Vieira win that fight. I mean, it just didn't happen. Like, I don't know how to come across that. I don't know how to deal with this. You could make a case. It was 4 rounds to 1. I mean, seriously, you could have made a case that Holly Holm won 4 rounds and Ketlin Vieira did not win that fight. I mean, I don't. Significant strikes, control time. I mean, head kicks, body kicks. It's just judging. I mean, I hate doing this, but this is why open scoring needs to happen. And this is why, personally, I think the judges just are awful. I mean, they're absolutely, in particular with female fights, they're so bad. We had it right. Holly Holm by decision. Holly Holm won that fight. I mean, I had 4 people of my good MMA guys that I'm like, what did you score it at? One guy had it as 3-2. 2 guys had it at 4-1 with me. I had it 4-1. I don't understand. I, honest to goodness, have no idea. And it pisses me off because the difference between a 1-2 night and an 0-3 night is significant. It really is. It's significant. So to me, I mean, it's, you're down 1.5 units or you're down 0.6 units. It's a gigantic change. So that one bet that should have come in at minus 120 just is extraordinarily frustrating for me. And I'm mad, and I'm not going to, I know you guys know that I'm honest. I tell you when I lose. I've been losing a lot this week. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I don't like losing money, but I also don't like having money taken from me when the wrong outcome comes out. Just a bad deal all the way around. Holly Holm won that fight. There's no way you'll ever convince me that Holly Holm did not win that fight. I watched all 5 rounds very closely. No way. Not even close did Ketlin Vieira win that fight. I don't know. It's very, very, very fishy that Vieira, they need her. They need Brazil. Have her go up and fight the winner. Because if Amanda Nunes gets her belt back, which could happen, I think it's going to happen coming up in July at UFC, and they made the announcement, by the way, shockingly enough, that Nunes will fight for her belt back against Juliana Pena coming up on July 30th at UFC 277. Just happened to make that announcement last night. And the winner of that fight is going to fight Ketlin Vieira. And then you have a chance to have two, if Pena wins, you have two Brazilians fighting, or three Brazilian fightings, right? I mean, Pena's background, I'm forgetting exactly Pena's background, but, Nunes, obviously, with the international flair that she's got and the following that she's got, it's a monster fight. It's an absolute monster fight. I hate storylines. I hate comparing the UFC to WWE or boxing, but boy, does that look fishy to me. All right. We already have one bet going here tonight. Tampa and Florida. We have the under 6.5. I know unders in hockey are really scary. Look at what happened with Colorado and St. Louis, but that's why I stayed away from that game. That game was crazy. Didn't have anything on it. Just stayed away from it because it was wild. I said in the Discord channel to bet Colorado down 1-0. I would have bet Colorado. You would have gotten a good price in Colorado, but I didn't bet it. So, okay. So we have one bet going under 6.5 at -120 for a half a unit. Three more half a unit bets. We have 3 hockey games in one basketball game. I'm staying away from baseball. I don't bet baseball on Sundays. Can't stand it. Baseball is wonky as is, but my goodness gracious, Sunday baseball is extremely wonky. I'm going to play the over 6.5 for Edmonton and Calgary. I don't know how you play anything else. In Vegas, it was -130. I've seen FanDuel at -134. Everyone else is -140. Just go to 7, guys. I mean, seriously, just go to 7. Like, what are you doing? Just go to 7. I still would bet over. I'll take the 6.5. Maybe we get a 7, 5-2 final. Okay, we win. It pushes, but these guys don't play defense. No one plays defense. Okay, so I think it's gonna be high scoring again, whether it be in Edmonton or Calgary. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Over 6.5 at -130. Same thing when it comes to New York and Carolina. Shifts to the Rangers. Rangers are more likely to have a lower scoring game in Game 3 than they would in Game 2 or 1. I do think New York wins Game 3. Not going to bet it, though. I do lean Rangers. Under 5.5, again at -130 here in Vegas. Most places are -135 across the country right now at the time of taping. Under 5.5. 130 for Vegas is kind of the highest the juice goes. The rest of the country is just wacko when it comes to this stuff. Like when it gets to 130, it means it's going to go to 6 or 5. If it goes to 5, by the way, if you guys get up and it's 5, bet the over. Like in-game, and we'll play under 5.5. If in-game gets to 4.5 or 4 or 3.5, I will come back and bet that as well, try to middle this, because I do think we'll see some more offense in New York than we did in Carolina. But it's a great way. Play under 5.5. If it gets off to a slow start, 0-0 after one period, you can turn around and bet, over 3.5, over 3, and have potentially a nice middle there with a 3-2 final or, a 3-1 final potentially. And we get in there. So that's how I'll play this under 5.5, over 6.5. And you know what we're doing with Dallas, right? I mean, again, this could be wrong. This could blow up in my face, but Dallas has been my favorite bet the entire year. I'm going down with the ship here. I'm not going to fade my favorite bet, Dallas Mavericks at home, under 218.5. That number is pretty well everywhere across the country. The Dallas Mavericks are 34-12-1 to the under here in this season at home. On the road, Golden State 24-22 to the over. This series, though, has gone under the first. Well, I guess the last game went over by 27 points. First game went under. Second game went over by 27 points. But I just think this is a dead under game. Under 218.5. Dallas hosting Golden State. I lean Dallas to win the game. I like Golden State in the over in the last game. Both those things came in. I like Dallas. Although I bet Dallas +6, didn't I? Yeah, I bet Dallas +6. I like Dallas in the over. That's what I liked. I like +6 in the over. That's what I bet in that game. But tonight, I'll take Dallas to keep it close on the under. I would lean Dallas -2.5, down 2-0. I would lean Dallas, but I'm not going to play the side here. Under 218.5 for a half a unit. Okay, so the 3 bets we're adding to the card. We already had Tampa, Florida, under 6.5 at -120. We're going over 6.5. for Calgary and Edmonton, under 5.5 for Carolina and New York, and under 218.5 for Dallas and Golden State. Kind of predictable here. You know where I'm going to go. You know where I'm going to be. Again, it's a total Sunday, but it's just the bets that I've liked. Fade them if you want. May not be a bad idea given the way that I've been this coming week. It's a Sunday, though. Let's start a new week. Let's get off to a good start. Let's hope all the trends hold here on a Sunday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.